This is the view, you know? Oh my god. So are we in Brazil now? Are we in Brazil now? Are we here?
Wow.
I had breakfast in Argentina, drinks in Paraguay, lunch in Brazil. Hello and welcome to the final vlog from Argentina. I have fallen in love with this country. This has quickly become one of my favourite countries I think I've maybe ever visited because the culture, the vibes, the cities, but also the variety of what is here has just blown me away. Like how different Patagonia was to Buenos Aires to where we are right now, which is Iguazu or Iguazu. I feel like I'm saying it right. People are telling me I'm saying it wrong. Iguazu Falls, which is up on the Argentinian, Brazilian, Paraguay border, right up in the corner here, and it is a very, very famous tourist attraction because it's actually the largest waterfall in the world. So we have headed up here for like 3 days to visit the Argentinian side and the Brazilian side. It's quite popular to do both. Okay, future Molly jumping in here because I didn't explain this, but basically the day before that clip you've just seen, we actually did a little day trip to Paraguay, and in my head at the time I thought it was going to be its own vlog, but I just did not film enough. So I'm going to slot that in here. It's still all within the like Iguazu part of the trip, but just so that you've got a little bit of context as to why we're now jumping to a completely different day, I thought it was just best to slot this in after the intro and say that was what was going on. In my head I thought I'd filmed like 20 minutes. I imported it. It was like 7 minutes long and I thought, okay, so we're gonna insert it here. Unexpectedly, this vlog's actually going to start somewhere completely different. We flew from Buenos Aires this morning to Iguazu. We have decided instead to do a day trip to Paraguay, random. So I'm going to bring him along. I'm very excited about it. Okay, so as a little update, we are currently in the back of a taxi. Here is Thomas.
Yeah, hello.
There are, how many of us going? 5? 6? 6 of us going. Two of them have stayed back at the hotel. We are currently in 2 separate taxis waiting to cross the Argentinian border into Brazil, because you actually have to drive through Brazil to get to Paraguay, but all of this drive is within like an hour, so that kind of gives you a scale as to how close all the countries are, because
kind of like the corner of all of them.
Yeah, it's like a triangle, so we're going to pass through all 3, and we have to get stamped out and stamped in. So it's actually pretty cool because I mean I am actually going to Brazil next week, but if I wasn't I would be getting a Brazil passport stamp, which is pretty cool.
Probably the quickest way to tick off 3 countries.
Yeah. Is there anywhere else? There's a few places in Europe you could drive through 3 countries. Yeah, basically, heading to Paraguay. Don't know anything about it. Don't have a clue what it looks like. Don't know what to expect. Gracias. So are we in Brazil now?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
This is the free zone. It's Argentina, but this is a free zone.
Free zone.
Okay, free zone. So no one owns this?
Yes.
Do you have the passports? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine if he was like, oh no, actually. It's quite big considering that nobody owns it.
The national bridge between Argentina and Brazil, Tancredo Neves, over the Iguazu River.
Who built the bridge?
Look, at the very end,
Oh, wow.
at the very end you see Paraguay, that side is Brazil and that side is Argentina.
Wow.
3 countries, 2 rivers.
3
Iguazu,
countries. Wow.
And over the waterfalls are 20 kilometers.
Hola! So we in Brazil now?
Now we are in free zone in Brazil, yeah.
Still free zone, okay. Okay, so the next task is to walk into Paraguay, oh my gosh. We're crossing the footbridge, leaving the car in this slightly sketchy looking garage behind us, and walking.
Oh, new country unlocked, Paraguay.
Are we here?
Well, on that thing.
Dearie me. Yeah, that's because it's quicker, guys. It's actually, apparently you have to spend ages in traffic, like you have to queue, so we basically just decided to walk.
The Rio de la Plata in Buenos Aires, Paraná River.
Oh, this is the 2nd biggest river?
Yeah.
After the one in Buenos Aires?
Yes,
Nice.
2nd widest, I assume.
2nd widest, yeah. Wait, I have to drink it all?
A little bit, but you have to drink. You have to drink
All?
I have to drink it all.
It's a lot.
Can we just...
Ginger and lemon.
It's okay, yeah.
Can we
It would be better hot. Can I share it or have to drink all of it?
Okay, you can give for
Okay.
someone else. Sí.
It's alright. Yeah, it's alright.
So we have entered Paraguay. It's 1,001 degrees, it's so hot. We've come straight into a department store. It is very different to Argentina. It's a lot less modern. It feels kind of like Asia. There's like a lot of people selling like food and drink on the streets and like fruits and stuff, but there are a lot of shops as well because apparently a lot of people come over from Argentina and Brazil to buy stuff because it's cheaper here, and then they'll go back with it, which is apparently what we're also doing. How are you finding Paraguay? Busy and stressful.
I think when we get away from the markets, it'll be better.
Will it? I don't think I've ever been anywhere this busy. Nice. So, it was a fleeting visit. We're now crossing back over the border into Brazil because, guys, it's a little overwhelming. There's actually not much here unless you want to buy goods. Like, people come over to buy electrical goods like TVs, phones, that kind of stuff because it's so much cheaper. They actually said it's about half the price of Argentina or Brazil, which actually is crazy. So I do get why people would come here from those countries. I don't really think they get tourists in this area. So we went in a few shopping centres. We went to a few markets. Tom's bought a few bits because of course he has. But we are actually going to head back across the bridge to get some food because everywhere that you could stop to eat here is like just chaos. It's just so busy. The food scene doesn't look great. And we're right next to Brazil. So to Brazil we go. What have you done?
Bought another shirt.
Bought another shirt to match with Eugene, and you've got your Argentina one underneath so you can whip it off at the border and be like, oh. Guys, this is the bridge we just walked over. This side is Brazil, this here is Paraguay. I don't even know the name of the city we were just in.
Ciudad del Este.
Ciudad de, do you want to say it?
Ciudad del Este.
Ciudad del Este. There we go, that's that city there. It was quite an experience. Okay, so on the way back from Paraguay to Argentina, we've stopped in Brazil to have lunch, although it's like 3 p.m. and we've stopped at a buffet. Apparently it's quite popular to go to like all you can eat places, which actually is pretty good because obviously a lot of their food is barbecue and meat, but when it's like a buffet there's obviously other options too, so it's actually sort of better for me, which was very nice. And also the food was really good, like everything we just ate, top notch. Now we have to recross at the border, which apparently takes longer going back into Argentina. I don't really know for what reason that is, but apparently it's just a slower process. It's definitely been an interesting day. I had breakfast in Argentina, drinks in Paraguay, lunch in Brazil, just your normal Friday.
Today we are heading out to the waterfall and we are doing the famous boat ride that you can take at the Argentinian side. If you've ever looked into this, you might have seen it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically you can take like a speedboat right up to the falls, but you get drenched. So I've popped on some gym gear that I'm hoping will be like quick drying, although it's very, very humid here, so who knows. But first I'm gonna grab a little bit of breakfast. We're staying in a really beautiful eco-sustainable hotel. I'll put the name of it on screen, I can't remember, it's quite a long name. And the breakfast here. Mwah.
Okay, we have arrived at the waterfall, guys, and our first step is to get a train to the top. I envisioned a train like at Machu Picchu, but it's a train like what you take around a park.
It's like that little train, is it a Scarborough? Do you want to go?
Oh, well, we're not getting in there. Let's go further down, I reckon. Wow, this is absolutely chaos. How's it going? So I've been left with Sean. What a shame. Oh.
It's a better substitute.
Yeah, it's a bit squashed. It's a bit chaotic. I thought, I had a vision of like a train.
A train?
Like a train, but this is not that. But that's okay, because that makes it fun. That explains why she said it's really slow.
It's going to be like no breeze.
Yeah. It's warm, it's very, very humid, guys. But we're going to the top. Maybe, are we going to see the waterfall on the way?
We'll see she said we'll see the river on the way, and then walk to the platform.
Yeah.
For the fall.
Sean was listening. I was
surprisingly
not. I missed him. I just got my camera out. There was a turtle, guys. I was just about to be like, oh my god, there's a turtle, but there was a turtle. Guys, this is probably the best view I'm gonna get of it. When I zoom out you can see all of it, but we are getting soaked, and I also think you probably can't even hear me, but Wow. Okay, we've just made it off of the walkway back, and I will say you get soaked because of the spray coming off of the waterfall. By the time you actually make it to like the front of the walkway, the spray is so intense it's actually very hard to even take a picture. Like all of the photos have come out like this because every 3 seconds you're like wiping your camera lens and then it's wet again. But it was incredibly impressive. It is not our last time seeing it today though, so I'll try and get some better footage when we are like down at the bottom of it. Oh, this is where you refill your water. Nice. Actually, I'm just gonna show you the map because we are back kind of at, there's like a central hub where you get off of the train, which I believe, no, I'm not very good at reading map. Okay, so yeah, we just walked this track. We're here right now. We walked, it's like 800 meters all the way across the top of the river. They've built like a boardwalk, and then this is the very front, and this is the top of the falls here. Obviously when we do the boat trip we're going to be on the river, so it's going to be like this bit down here, and then tomorrow when we see the Brazil side we're going to be on this bit because this is actually Brazil. Like I don't know where the border is, I presume it's just kind of like here.
It's outside. It says Brazil at the top.
Oh yeah, Brazil, Argentina. And then there's all these different tracks you can do here. You can do different walks if you want to do different circuits. There's definitely a lot of options. It's very well organised, but I will say it's actually very, very busy. I'd say it's maybe a bit too busy. Like this walkway is a one-way walkway. Well, not one way, but like it's one path, and it is so cramped that we were basically kind of like just shuffling along it for the way there because it was so busy. I don't know if that's the time of day it is, although I think we got here pretty early. I think it's just a very popular touristy thing to do. So this is probably the best viewpoint that we're going to get because we are doing a little walk around now, and I think she said it's like an hour-long trail, and you've got viewpoints of the waterfall from various different points, and it is so impressive. It really is massive. It's kind of like, it's giving Jurassic World in the sense that it looks like it's just not part of our world. Do you know what I mean? Does that sound silly? Like if I saw dinosaurs roaming down here I would not be that surprised. Is that a daft thing to say? When you see animations of what the world used to look like before we built everything on it. So we are heading back. We've lost the group somehow, of course we have, but we're basically on a one-way walkway. Ooh, but it's not one way now. Did they realise that they lost us? I feel like it must be that way. We've got lost, so I don't think they even realise that we're not with them. And it's just really busy. It's actually a little bit stressful. I do kind of think that potentially this experience would be a little bit better if they'd let less tourists in. I think it's maybe a bit too busy. So we're walking quickly because we're trying to get back in time to have lunch, because then we have a booking this afternoon to ride the boat, which is going to be amazing. It's going to be so fun, but it's making this bit a little bit rushed. But also, like, there's only so many times you can stop and take a photo of a waterfall. I'm a little concerned that we've gone wrong, and we've got no way of getting in touch with them if we have. Okay, we are stopping for lunch. There's a little food court here where you kind of help yourself to food like you're at a canteen. It's giving school vibes because you get a little tray, but it's actually pretty good. There was a veggie option. One thing I will note is across all of Argentina there's a real lack of vegan options. If you are vegan and you're traveling here, definitely be prepared for that. Not saying it's impossible to find, but at touristy places like this, probably bring some snacks.
La selva no permite que los nutrientes.
Are you excited?
Very excited.
Tom thought we were going for a nice scenic cruise down the river.
Cruise.
It turns out it's more like whitewater raft. I feel like we shouldn't have told you. It would have been way more funny.
I was actually a bit bored that it was going to be just a normal boat, so this is good.
Yeah, it looks like it actually might be quite intense.
Yeah.
You know when they have to put up loads of warnings before you get on? That's when you know that it actually might be scary.
Continue.
That's so
guys, it's been a few hours. The lighting in this bathroom is not the best. Quite clearly in that last clip you saw how soaked I got, so I've since washed my hair, but that was honestly such a fun activity. Tom actually said it was a highlight of his trip so far. I don't know if I would say that just because there were times where I felt I was drowning. Like we were going so close to the waterfall, and there was this one point where we spent quite a long time and I seemed to be like directly underneath like part of it, because I was like on the edge of the boat, and I was like
But other than that, it was very, very fun. It was like an optional extra activity that we decided to add on. There was 6 of us that did it. I do think it was worth it. It was very fun. We've not done too many adrenaline activities on this trip because there's not been as many. I feel as though like when you travel Australia and New Zealand, every other day there's like an option to do a bungee jump or like a skydive or something. This travel is not the same as that, and I'm grateful for that because I'm not an adrenaline junkie. This was a good level. But yeah, also the falls themselves were beautiful. We're going back tomorrow to the Brazilian side, but right now we're going out in Iguazu, the Argentina side, because there is a town called that on the Brazilian side as well. It's all a bit confusing. We've had a bit of a mishap this afternoon with flight, where we realized that Tom and I had booked the flight out on the wrong day, which was just by mistake really. It was just a mix-up. Like, it wasn't really my fault. It was kind of my fault. It was just all a muddle with the dates because we were leaving at like 11 p.m. and obviously that meant we're landing the next day. Everybody got kind of confused. I had got quite confused. I hadn't even realized I'd made this mistake, so I'm really glad that I realized now we're not at the check-in desk of the airport. And we sort of managed, we got like half a refund and then managed to rebook the flight. So we've had to spend a little bit more. But LATAM Airways have been pretty good. Like the whole time we've been in South America, I do recommend using them. I think their help desk and their help center is pretty good. But right now we're about to go out for dinner and I am hungry. Every time you're always just smiling. Cheers! Argentina! Woo! Good morning. It is Sunday. It is our final day here in Brazil. I think in Argentina, but we are actually spending it in Brazil is what I meant to say. Last night ended up being a very, very late night. I think we got back at about 2:30 and we weren't even like partying. We were just sat around. There's like a table and chairs outside where we're staying in the hotel that you would just find in your garden, like plastic table and chairs vibes, and we were literally just sat there talking. But we were also I was actually having a beer, which is just really out of character. So yeah, that was kind of rogue, but it was also just so lovely. But that meant that more than anything now I'm just really tired. But you know what, it's gonna be worth it because today we are going to the Brazilian side of the falls. Obviously yesterday we were at the Argentina side. Like I say, this spans both countries and I think it's like a really different experience. Apparently from the Brazil side you're kind of at the bottom of it and you can like do some jungle trekking. To be honest, I don't really know what to expect, but I have heard that it is a different experience, and we have this like local guide with us called Blanca, and she is really lovely and she knows so much stuff about it. So she's coming with us, she's taking us, but it does mean that we have to have our passports stamped again. I already have 2 Brazil passport stamps and I only crossed through it to get to Paraguay. I'm about to get 2 more because I'll be stamped in and out, and then tomorrow I'm actually leaving to go to Brazil for 2 weeks, so I will get 2 more. So I'll have 6 Brazil passport stamps. So that's what we're doing and I need to leave. We have just arrived at the Brazilian side of the falls. I have to say, I do agree. I think that this, what is that? I think that this is better. The view is kind of it, whereas yesterday we were like in it. We were kind of walking along it. I think this is a much better view. I also think it's less busy. This is what I'm currently looking at. Do you see what I mean? Like all of the bridges that are across there is where we were yesterday in the vlog walking, which obviously was spectacular, but it definitely, this is the view, you know? This is a whole vlog just of waterfalls. That was us yesterday. Guys, there's baby ones. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Wait, there's a whole litter of them. This is incredible, but I will say there are so many wasps and it is pretty busy. I've never had more wasps landing on me in my life than right here. I'm trying to be really calm about it, but you know what? It's not a very calm experience, but it's worth it because look at the view. This is the current vibe. I will say we're getting soaked again if you can tell by the spray, but I mean it's definitely worth it. Again, it's so busy. I feel as though this is really helping my confidence about vlogging in public. Usually I would be like, oh, but I'm also like, look at this. Actually look at this. And also look at how wet I am. It's a combination of sweat and the water. Probably can't even hear me because of how noisy it is. The waterfall is surprisingly so loud. You do kind of have to shout to talk over it. I mean, I say surprisingly, look at all that water that's falling. It's not really surprising. This is a system hack. We've come up 1 level for the lift. People are waiting for this lift because it's quite a lot of stairs to climb up to the top. We were like, nah, we'll climb the stairs because it's taking ages in the queue. There's nobody even on this platform. Bearing in mind how busy all the other platforms are. Like, you're fighting your way through, you can't get a picture without other people in it. This is the spot. Guys, we have got a little bit of lunch and we found some vegetarian chicken nuggets, which simply just never happens. Kind of random. I'm a little bit apprehensive about what's inside them, but I'm sure it's fine because there was not really any other options, so.
We are back from the falls and I am freshly showered. I don't think I got as bad today because the walk that we did was like predominantly under shade, which was actually so good. And then since we got back, I've just been chilling at the pool basically. So just got showered and we're gonna head out for dinner, but it's actually our last night, not only in Argentina, but as part of this group. And like I mentioned, we have formed like such good friendships with this group. We actually already knew most of the people. So basically this tour has been with I'm Here Travel. I'm friends with the owner and like most of the staff now because I've done 2 trips with them in the past. But also Lauren is on this trip, who has done 2 of my group tours in the past. And then the other 3 that we didn't know before we started, you guys have seen in the vlog, Rebecca and Eugene, and also Karen. Didn't know them before, but I feel like honestly we've known them forever now. We've all got on so well, and Rebecca and Eugene are actually also coming to Brazil, so we're going to be spending the next 2 weeks with them as well, which I'm really happy about because we got on so well. But it's our last dinner here in Argentina. It's our last dinner with Lauren and Karen, so we are going to head out. We're going to go back into the town. There's actually surprisingly a lot in this town. I'll film a little bit for you. I don't think I've really shown you, but it's like, it's a small town, but it's bigger than I thought it would be. There's a lot of restaurant options, there's a good few bars. I think because it's very touristy, they've kind of like catered to that. But yeah, I don't know what we're having for dinner, but we're gonna head out. I've also not shown you the hotel room, but guys, it's absolutely massive. My bag is like completely fully unpacked over here, so please ignore how messy it is, but there's lots of room for activity. There seems to be a lot of floor space, and also the ceiling was cracking us up because Tom just FaceTimed home and his dad was like, you look like you're upside down, like the floor is on the ceiling. And I was like, oh my goodness, it actually does look like that. But it made us laugh. I don't really know why it's this design on the roof, but we've got a bathroom through here, which I actually have vlogged in. Not wearing anything very exciting because I want to wear this tomorrow to travel in, so I thought I'd just wear it tonight. Saves on washing, you know, when you're backpacking, I'm like, if I wear it tonight, I can wear it again tomorrow. Same. One thing you do need here is bug spray. The mosquitoes are relentless, and it's not even just mosquitoes, there's so many flies and things. We are practically, well, we're not in the Amazon yet, but it's giving the Amazon rainforest, and I'm not actually sure this even works. This is the outside of the hotel. It's very much kind of tropical vibes. You're in the jungle, you're amongst the trees. There's a lot of wildlife here. There's a lot of sounds, which I believe are mainly all birds and insects. There is a swimming pool, which is where we were chilling out this afternoon. Camera's steaming up because it's been in the air conditioning. But yeah, heading for dinner.
It's more funny when you see what they are.
Two's all I need. Didn't want to be greedy, you know.
Cheers! One last time. I got that on video. Gonna have to stick to that now. Who is surprised that I didn't end the vlog? Because I'm not, but I feel as though you kind of got the vibes. We ended up celebrating. We randomly went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and I was so confused temporarily as to why there were many Hard Rock cafes dotted around Argentina, but specifically in Iguazu. I kind of thought this was so random, and then I realized they do actually have a collaboration with M&C, and then I thought it maybe made sense because they are obsessed with M&C everywhere. Like, I have never seen that man's face more than the last 2 weeks here. But yeah, I'm gonna end this vlog we ended it on such a high. I'm gonna carry that on. I'm not gonna waffle, but we have had truly the best time in Argentina. I feel like in my head this trip kind of ran straight into Brazil, which is where you're gonna see us go next, but it is actually a tour in its own right. And like I've already said, I'm gonna link I'm Here Travel's website down below because you can actually book to do this exact trip, the same itinerary with the Patagonia, Buenos Aires, Iguazu Falls kind of route. And dare I say it, I think it's actually been my favorite country of South America. I think that this country has so much to offer that is so varied that I would put it so high on your bucket list, and I had never even considered Argentina before. So yeah, the link to this tour will be down below. Huge shout out to I'm Here Travels. Huge love to them for having us on this tour. It was so much fun, and I'm so excited for you to see what we're going to be up to in Brazil. So make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. Yeah, thank you so much for watching.